everybody, it's the Panoptical Poet here. Today I'm joining you from the cemetery in Prince George, BC. As I've talked about in a different video, me and one of my girlfriends this summer were talking about cemeteries and how we feel like they're very peaceful places, like we feel very comfortable there, and part of that is because of all of my friends that died when I was young, and it's kind of amazing to me that the opioid crisis is getting worse because so many young people that I knew in Kaslo died from drug or alcohol related incidents and accidents. And yeah, so definitely check on your friends if you don't want to visit them in a place like this. That's really important, I think, especially right now. But when I first moved to Prince George, one of the places that I like to come to with my dogs to go walking was the cemetery here because I found it to be such a peaceful place to be. And I ended up writing a series of poems, which some people like to tell me are haikus, but I could get this wrong because I don't have my book here. But from my understanding, if it's not about nature, it's not a haiku. So these poems follow the same syllabic format, but if it's about emotion, as I feel most of these poems are, they're actually called a Senryu. So I wrote what I called the Prince George Graveyard Senryu series. So I thought, what better place to read you guys these poems than the Prince George Cemetery. So for this video, I'm going to walk around the cemetery and stop at different spots that me and my dogs used to stop at and read some poems. I'll read you the first one here since we're here anyway. So this is Prince George Graveyard Senryu series number 1. Walking, flanked by 2 large black dogs. Here now, they are seemingly hellhounds. So one of the places that I've talked about before in a poetry video was the children's plot at this cemetery. I think that always kind of affected me because so many of the people that I lost in Kaslo were so young that they were pretty much children. So I'll read you 2 of the poems from this Prince George Graveyard Senryu series here because they were written about the children's plot. This is number 2. Bittersweet beauty, on the edge of death's playground, blood-red flowers grow. Number 3. Yesterday you picked young spring flowers. Today you are underneath them. So I looked around for this stone so I could read this next poem there, but I can't seem to find it. So I'm going to read you 2 more poems from the Prince George Graveyard Senryu series. This is number 4. A large blank stone stands between the graves, perhaps to ground the souls lost here. Number 5. What is the point of a sharing garden when all that grows here is loss? So I'm now at the opposite end of the cemetery than when I started, and this is where me and my dogs always used to come to because there is a really nice little sort of, it's very small, but it's a little sort of meadow here, and the cemetery is still over here behind me, as you can see. But yeah, this used to be a really special place to come to with my dogs, and now that they're gone, I think it's really nice that I was able to come here and record the poems that they inspired me to write by bringing me here for walks. So I have 2 more poems to share with you from the Prince George Graveyard Senryu series. So first, this is number 6. There is peace for me in this place, just as there is for many in death. And number 7. You, almost younger than the dead purple flowers gracing your gravestone. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of this poem, definitely check on your friends while they're alive and make time for them while you're alive, because I don't know, life is not forever. That should be pretty obvious to all of us right now. And at the end of the day, it's the experiences that you have that make it worthwhile and make it joyful and all of the things that we, crave in life, really. So yeah, just take some time to check on your friends while they're here so that you're not visiting them in a place like this. As nice as places like this are, and it's so nice that we can have those places, to connect with people that are gone, it's really important to connect with each other while we're here. So I hope that you enjoyed my Senryu series about the Prince George Cemetery and the walk through the cemetery, and thanks for checking out this video. Panoptical Poet out.